YouTube, what's happening? It's Big Felon checking in, you know the channel. Fella with firearms. And letting y'all know now, I'm extremely tired, but I've been asked for this state, just like all the states, but I've been asked for this state so many times, man. The state of California, we here. So yeah, now state of California, man. I've done the research for you guys, and you guys had a lot of different counties. Each one of y'all require y'all own, require you to petition whatever jurisdiction or whatever county you live in. But it's cool because the what's good about that is that the instructions for actually applying for relief is pretty much the same in every county or jurisdiction or whatever you want to call it. But it's just who you address it to. You address it to the residence that you live in and not where your charge was caught. But California, it says firearm rights lost regained only through pardon.
Open the kitchen.
And that's penal code, Cal Penal Code 12021, comma 4852.175. But yeah, so it's by pardon, and your vote automatically restored upon release from imprisonment or parole. Other rights gained by pardon, and then it got a list of penal codes in here, and I'm gonna include the penal codes into the description of the video. I haven't been doing that, but I guess I'll start including the penal codes in the description. I typically just put them up on the screen during the video, but I'm gonna put them into the description as well. I can definitely do that. So mainly everything that it's saying for California is by pardon. So when I pull up, again, reference guide, man, if y'all want to find the information I'm finding as easily as I am, get this book. But so I look up that penal code, right? And I found several different ones, and I read over them, and they all were basically the same. But for the sake of this video, this is the one that we're working on right now. Try to get it to y'all so y'all don't see that glare. But it's the Superior Court of California, County of Nevada. So I'm gonna briefly go over this with you guys. So in here you're gonna ask for a pardon and a certificate of rehabilitation, a certificate of relief, and all of those things are what's going to be necessary in order for you to gain a full pardon. That's the key. You got to get a full pardon in order to get your rights restored. So, and they tell you like the California governor pardon is an honor traditionally granted only to individuals who have demonstrated exemplary behavior, following that felony conviction. You know what I'm saying? A pardon would not be granted unless it's been earned. And just like in all the previous videos, earn. How are you being proactive? How are you giving back to your community? Have you started a business? Have you made, up to date with your taxes, fines, restitutions? Are you doing community service? Are you, making the best opportunity out your employment position. You know, if you're employed by somebody, are you making advancements in work so you can utilize your skills in a higher place to to be more efficient for not only for yourself, your family, but for the community. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely have to earn any type of pardon, petition, clemency. You gotta show them people through your behaviors, your custom ways and actions. That's called your culture of freedom. Just drop that jewel on y'all. Let's see. A pardon is a privilege, not a right, and not granted to every person who applies. Personal opinion, I don't agree with that, but the fact of the matter is, it just said that, it's not granted to everybody who apply. But that don't mean you can't apply again. So an applicant an application will not be considered unless the applicant has been discharged from probation or parole for at least 10 years without further criminal activity during that period. The 10-year rule may be waived. The 10-year rule may be waived. The 10-year rule may be waived in truly exceptional circumstances. And I'm going to build on that for a second because, like, people hear that 10-year mark and get discouraged. Well, they letting you know that you can still ask for this pardon even if you haven't reached the 10 years. And I'm a walking testimony that it can be done. Like, I had violent felons in the state of Virginia. That's where I'm from. And in the state of Virginia, the statute is 7 to 10 years for violent offenders. But they also state that the 7 to 10-year rule may be waived in truly exceptional circumstances. So I was released in 2015, and I got my gun rights back in 2020. So it's a little over 4 years. I got released at the end of 15, September to be exact. But when I petitioned, you know, I had got my CDL, I had got my hazmat endorsement, been off probation, fixed my credit, had a deed to a house, I had skilled at welding. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of documents, anger management, substance abuse. I had a lot of documents, a lot of reference letters. So I fell within that exceptional circumstance. So if you're one of the individuals who has been highly productive and proactive and kept up with that information, don't worry about that 10 years. Go ahead and get this pardon. And so, and look, so pardons, applicants, applications may be accepted from any person who has been convicted in California of a felony or a certain specific misdemeanor sex offense. Pay attention to this. In most cases, the first step in applying is to obtain a certificate of rehabilitation from the Superior Court in the county where the applicant currently resides. So that's telling you right there, step one for filing a pardon or filing a full pardon. Step one, before you even fill out the pardon form, step one is to file for a certificate of rehabilitation. And once you get back your certificate of rehabilitation, you set that document to the side and you begin to look for the next step as far as going forward for a pardon. And it has to be in the county where you reside, not where you court your charge. If you court your charge in Sacramento, but you live in San Francisco, this the certificate of rehabilitation need to be filed in San Francisco, wherever you reside. And check this out: there is no fee for applying for a pardon. And don't get it confused. Your pardon does not seal your record. It does not seal your record at all. When a pardon is granted, the California Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigations are notified so that they may update the records of the applicant. The pardon is filed with the Secretary of State, reported to the legislature, and is public record. So, but it does not seal your criminal record because the pardon itself is public record. It's going to show that you have been pardoned for, you have been granted clemency for. So don't think that the pardon is going to seal your record. All right, but anywho, let's talk about the certificate of rehabilitation. But before that, Penal Code 12021. A person convicted of a felony cannot own or possess firearms based on that penal code. If the individual receives a full and unconditional pardon, he or she may own any type of weapon that may lawfully be used by others in California. So, once you get a full and unconditional pardon, you may own or possess any type of weapon that anybody else in California can own legally. And the law governing the right to own and possess firearms can be found in Penal Code Section 4854. Okay, so now let's move on to the certificate of rehabilitation. Remember, this is step one of getting a full pardon. A certificate of rehabilitation is a court order declaring that a person convicted of a felony is now rehabilitated. If the petition for a certificate of rehabilitation is granted, it is forwarded to the governor by the courts and constitutes the application for a pardon. So once you're granted this certificate of rehabilitation, it's automatically sent to who it needs to be sent to, the hierarchy, and it constitutes your opportunity to file for the pardon. But it says it does not guarantee that a pardon will be granted. Of course, along with that, you need to have other accommodations, other accolades when you pardon. Like I said, show them that you're really being proactive. Don't do the bare minimum. So, who may apply for a certificate of rehabilitation? You are eligible to apply if you were convicted of a felony and served your sentence in a California prison. You were convicted of a felony or a misdemeanor sex offense specified in Penal Code Section 290, or were convicted of a felony after May 13, 1943. People who are not eligible for a certificate of rehabilitation, this is important. Those who do not meet the above requirements. I'll make sure y'all get these requirements. Those who are convicted of misdemeanors, except those convicted of a misdemeanor sex offense as discussed above. Those who are serving mandatory life parole. Those committed to prison under the death sentence. Those persons in military service. Okay. When to apply. Persons eligible for a certificate of rehabilitation may file a petition with the Superior Court in their county of residency once they have completed the period of rehabilitation. The period of rehabilitation begins to run upon discharge from incarceration or release of probation or parole. The probation of rehabilitation requires 5 years of residency in California. Okay, so they're telling you if you're eligible, when you can apply, how to apply, and where to send it off to. Like, it's laid out for you. You know, it's a lot for me to read. I'm not going to read through all of this. They have the actual certificates and everything in here, but instructions, yeah. I definitely feel like once you get your hands on this information, you'll definitely be good. And like I said, it's I done seen at least three or four for the the county or residencies that each individual may live in. So I also include all of those in the links. But this is indispensable, yo. And then applying for that full pardon so that you can have your Second Amendment restored, man. It's truly unbelievable and it's truly amazing, man. But I definitely, like I said, I just encourage you all to get out there and do it, man. And please, man, share this information with the next person so that they too may accomplish this. But I ain't really got nothing else to say, man. Like I said, I'm tired. Hopefully, I covered everything I needed to cover in here. And y'all just get this done, man. Until next time, peace, love, and light.